You guys have to do it again.
Blooper.
And then I was asking myself, right, should we have a list? What do you guys think? Hi guys, my name is Yoma, and with me is Ayobami Banji and George Oko. So we're here for our first edition of the Light It Up Talk Show. Welcome. We'll be talking about something very interesting. I was recently having a conversation with a friend who literally whips up his list whenever he is trying to go on a date with a lady because he's currently searching to find his better half. And then I was asking myself, right, should we have a list? What do you guys think?
Honestly, I think you should have standards, certainly. Everyone should have standards, but having a list and, like you said, going around with a list, I think it's a little bit extra. But we need standards, definitely. So whatever you're doing, you need to be able to. You can't just be, open to everything and anything, especially with something that would potentially be your life, like your family, like starting a family, getting married, and that's your life. Right? So you should have certain standards. That brother serious though.
Shopping.
Like shopping is
You don't have to
right.
think about the boxes.
Yeah, and then it's like, are you going to get a shirt? But I feel like you could actually refer to, the standards like something like a sort of lists, right?
Yes, but I think before you can have standards, yourself as a person, you should be your standard. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So most of the things that we read for other people,
we should have
those things. Yeah. So like then. Trying to find the standard or trying to find the person that fits your standard becomes a little bit like it's easy. You necessarily won't have to go around looking for because the attraction will come somehow. Like people walk into the arts
naturally. Yeah.
So I feel like you won't need to say much.
Yeah.
Do you understand? To appeal or to attract your kind.
So what with that person who's going around with the list, I actually feel like what he's trying to fill is the void in him. He lacks something. He's trying to find it in another person. And if you don't have those things, you can't complete him. Quote and unquote. Which is wrong. You need to fix yourself there. Because you don't throw a half-baked human at another person.
Wow, that's interesting. So I love what you said about the fact that like attracts like.
Yeah.
So naturally, if you have certain qualities, you would attract certain kinds of people.
Chances are, sometimes it can go the other way.
Life happens.
Yeah, and what you were saying as well about feeling a void. I've heard, especially when I was younger, they'll say, you are not gentle. Oh shit, you need someone. You need someone. You understand? So like, there's the place for that as well. But I feel like, for the most part, just you meet your standards. Like, try and be a good person. Because whatever you're looking for in someone else is not left to just that person. Like, you're looking for something good in someone. If you're making standards, that thing must be something that works. What to believe, like something that will work in the long run for them. So be that person.
Yeah, think about it like someone else, like walking around with a list. So the person you're trying to get also
walking is like, how are we good?
How much of those boxes will you see on the person's list? Like,
So I was trying to ask, like, how do we navigate? Because we've come to an understanding that we have standards, we have certain no-nos and certain yeses. So how do you navigate from a human point of view, still keeping your standards, understanding that you yourself are not perfect and you're not trying to get someone who is perfect because you're human, we are human. So how do you think we can balance that up?
So I feel like there are things that a non-negotiable, yeah, for people, that's your standard. So seeing that you have those things, you're also looking out for those things in another person. Of course, you're trying to build a lifelong relationship. Yeah. So in that tailored way, right? You look at what you feel is necessary. There are other things that can actually grow. For me, I feel like the first thing I think about is communication and respect. I don't.
That's a list.
Yeah. It's a standard that I don't want to compromise. I feel like you can work through most things when you communicate, right?
Totally.
Because even as Christians, yeah, if you try to go through life without communicating with who has the mantle, you just run into so many holes, and you always be looking for a way to come out of it. Yeah, so I feel like communication eases a lot of tension. It creates a lot of an atmosphere to grow, because then you begin to know what this person wants. And also, you should be looking for someone with a teachable spirit. You don't want to see someone who is all choked up and feels like I have it all in me, right? So you should also be someone who is teachable. Yeah, and there's always avenue to grow. It's a step after the other. Life does not come in boxes. It comes in stages. You don't have to be confined to a space, especially when you're ready to learn.
So I think that there are certain things, like I said, that are non-negotiables. So thinking about, you can't get with someone who, I mean, not that you can't, but
you don't want to.
Yeah, it would be dangerous for you to get with someone who's not a good person.
Yeah.
So like the barest minimum of what you should be looking for is this person a good person. Like if she says, oh, I love you, what does she think of other people? Like, I mean, how does she treat other people?
Yeah.
That's very important. Is she kind to everyone else? Like, is it just when she's with me? Like, I mean, I know that it's a special kind of love there, like, but how she treats other people, like how she relates with people would also go a long way to, to affect us when we're together and our family, like in the long run. So I think, I feel like we're making a list already.
You guys are making a list.
Like I said,
So you guys are making
thinking about it. There is it.
Yes.
But it doesn't have to
But
be.
you would have in the placard and going around and asking everyone.
Maybe in your mind,
yeah.
when you have the non-negotiables, then you can actually figure out how to navigate.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it the traditional way, write things down, and then if you don't tick all the boxes, I don't feel like there's one human on earth who can tick all the boxes of a perfect human being, except the person was made by a scientist. So you're just a robot, and even that there will be coding issues. Let's talk technology for a moment. The app designer makes an app, sends it out. People use it, they bring feedbacks. You see that there's a problem somewhere. You go back to your drawing board and then you make necessary changes. It doesn't mean that what you're trying to roll out again is the final, because there will still arise. But people need to understand that there should be room and space to grow, to learn, and to be better.
I was also going to talk about self-governance. I think that's one thing that every human, man, woman, should be able to control your time, like be in control of your time, your emotions to a large extent, and like a list of other things. Like, so I want to be with someone who I can see as, this person is in control of, like, themselves, their life, basically. Like, it's not just like everything, like whatever happens, they have like self-governance.
Anyway, you have a list. I'm so happy.
I would actually like to hear you.
Well, because I'm really excited because we started this conversation with the whole she just has to be a good person, and then I'm hearing
Yeah,
things
all
that
this,
we
all
want
this,
to
like,
say.
so being a good person is it's like the main,
The umbrella
the
word.
umbrella, yeah.
But I feel like when it comes to being a good person, there's so much more. Right? So, for example, you can't be a good person and not have self-goodness. And you want someone that has that. It's possible for you to be a very good person, and your mom has to tell you when to wake
That's
up in the
dicey.
morning, and all of that. So, you have a list, and you're just upset you have a list.
Okay, you know what? So I don't know your list.
She wants us to be
Not that guy. That guy you met is unique. I'm not that guy. For instance, people that have been together for 50, 60 years, they're still getting to know each other.
No, that's
Yeah.
Do you understand? So you will never know someone
Everything,
to
yeah.
even say that your list is like you can tick your list and say this person has this person has that. It will take conversations. It will
Yes,
take,
yes,
So,
yes,
so I won't say I have a list because of that.
Yes,
I won't say
yes.
there's a list.
Yeah.
I'll just say these are things that I would rather see in someone over time. I would hope that this person can meet this,
Absolutely.
and then I can pick little things like maybe in our little conversations that okay, it'd be like say this person go. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? This person would know how to. This person, yeah. So
I totally get what you're saying. I love the value behind your words. I understand why you're fighting this, because really what happens with stuff like having a list is that you're not open, right?
Yeah.
Truly discovering the
The
person.
person.
And then it's like it's transactional. You know, I want to just do this and check if she's this. You know, as against someone who is open and just sees goodness in a person and says, okay, you're a
Right.
good person. And then I'm ready to discover you from a place of optimism. I believe that I can get to know you, get close to you, and find something. And then if I discover something along the way, it's not like I was looking for it. Because that's a relationship killer.
yeah,
Right? I'm not trying to look for you. I'm open to you. My heart is fully open to you. Right? I'm invested in you. And I feel like the reason why a lot of people want to like stick with stuff like this is because they're scared. What do you think?
yeah. Of course, experience has a lot to. I mean, for you to be scared of something, most likely you've experienced it or you know somebody else who has been through something, and that's how people make up this.
Yes, this
like,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
like,
So they're trying to
I
be
don't
safe.
Say like
Yeah,
I can't
like
deal
that.
with someone.
Yeah,
who's
but
like
the thing is, you can't live life like that. Really and truly, we cannot live. Yeah, we should learn from experiences, but we cannot live our lives based off other people's experiences or the fact that everyone is the same.
Yeah. Yes.
But that's one thing I feel like.
Yeah, that's it.
So when you hear
The
certain
mindset,
things, people
yes.
just think that like the old guys are. Anytime I hear guys are
Yes.
or girls or ladies,
I need speak.
Yeah, I'm
right.
like-
Yes.
wait a minute, like you know,
you
go around
haven't
like,
even met everybody.
yeah.
So you
So
can't
because
say-
you cannot say, oh, people are like this, or you know, don't do this. What is it called?
Stereotype.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
I'd like to hear the top on this school list. Do you have a list?
Yeah. So do I have a list? Yes, I have a list.
Interesting.
She saw that guy and she thought, what a guy. And she went and made a list. Snap up.
Or did you have a list before?
So this is how it went, right? Okay, so when he spoke about his list, I had a problem. I have similar thoughts as you as regards to that guy. So when he spoke about his list, I had a problem with it. But I really couldn't put words into my feelings. But I just felt that vibe of transaction, right? And I felt like you're not trying to navigate this thing from a point of being human and being humane, you know. And then I discovered I have a list. Like it occurred to me whilst I was assessing, you know, him and his what's the word? Like assessing his approach. And I was like, okay, but you have a list. Because I have a list written down list.
Just like you don't go.
Right? I don't go about with my lists. So the thing is, I have a list, I have a vision for what I want to see, right, in the person that I'm with. As a lady who has dated, you know, quite much, right? I've had to see certain traits that are very important to me, right? I've had to also see some things that I've discovered that they're no. So yes, I have.
Can I get
I guess it's the top of my list is kindness. And it has to be there. It's non-negotiable. You have to be a kind person. And I feel like that's on your list as well, because you mentioned, when you're talking about the fact that, how does this person treat
other people? Yeah.
So you say we all want kind people, right? Love in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 is the same love between a man and a woman.
Yeah.
The fact that there's romance in it doesn't change the fact that it's still intrinsically the same love.
Yeah.
So what happens when love is love. Respect is number 2. For a woman, a woman has to have a list. I'm telling you, because a woman has to submit. If you're not ready to submit, then you're not ready as a woman. That's just the truth. I know it's cliche, it's said everywhere. Some people are fighting it. 2 people cannot work together if there are no rules. There has to be rules. By the time try to jammer everything, there's any word like that, it's not going to work. So as a woman, I have to understand that I would need to submit, right? And there's certain things that I'm going to be looking at in the person that I'm submitting to. For example, respect, right? A man has to be respectful. Something happened to me recently. I went on 2 dates. The first date, at the end of the date, I really didn't like his approach to saying goodbye. I'm not going to go into details, right? But I didn't like his approach to saying goodbye. I felt disrespected, right? And then the second date, he waited for me. He tried to watch what I wanted, and he responded to that, showing that was what he wanted, but he was interested in what I wanted, right? So I'm not just a piece of shirt that you do your dreams with, but you're interested in me, what I want, what I'm thinking. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So for me, that's respect.
That's a real man.
Yeah, shout out to him. Yeah, so that
Don't go and say.
so that respect is very important, because I'm going to be submitting to you. So I'm going to need for you to check with me. What else is on my list? Let me see.
Are you trying to select upon what?
I can't even remember, to show you how I'm not so I'm keen on it, but I'm not going with it. You know?
Absolutely.
So but respect, kindness.
To be honest, I think those 2 things are
extremely important.
If we were to make a list, we'll be here for time. If you literally what you're looking for in anywhere, you find yourself just one thing after the other. But there are certain things, kindness, respect, is so important, because trust me, if they do something out there that has no kind, just from lots of us, it's going to come back at you. So from one way or the other, for that either foot the hospital people, or you would you guys some guns.
Plus that person is going to be, if the person is unkind, they're going to be unkind to you.
At some point, yes, and in fact,
you want to you than anybody else.
Trust. So when you see certain things they will do, then you don't trust even their kindness sometimes,
to you,
because you're thinking this person is only doing this for a reason.
Yep.
For lack of a better word, eye service.
Eye service.
So you're not feeling. So you're thinking, I don't really think that. How am I sure that this is coming from? Especially if they are obviously they'll always be if it's not balanced, in some way, maybe you're bringing more to the table, in terms of finances, for instance.
True,
You start to think, are they only being nice to me because they want this?
Because it's not who she is.
So it can be tricky.
And then consistency. For me, I can't deal with a man who's not consistent. I really cannot.
So consistent with what?
If I may ask,
anything. Anything. So at every level, I need you to be consistent. So I meet you as a man, and for example, you are at the level where you are okay, I'm close enough to you to text you every day. I don't call you every day. I'm okay with whatever you define where you want to be.
Right.
And that's not
But I'll have a problem with you if you start to call me, you start to text me every day, and after some time it just starts to dwindle. Right? So whatever it is that you are committed to doing, I need to see that you're doing it on a consistent level. Right?
Okay, so are you talking about the talking stage or like throughout?
As a friend,
And as
a lover,
and as
as a husband, I need you to be consistent. And I'm not saying there cannot be room for lapses, but I don't want it to be your character.
Okay, so what happens when you see a lapse? Like, he's been consistent, and then there is just a
How do you engage?
Yeah.
What's a lapse or like
what elapses?
Yes,
So
like-
I think it's character.
still consistency thing still boils down to
Yes,
like, it still boils down to
consistency.
being a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Everything boils down to being a good.
yeah, so if so you're saying that
Or trying to be a
if there
better
are lapses,
Try.
you're going to fall back on okay. I know the kind of person this guy is. So I know that. So
That's it.
yeah. So if if you've already accepted someone for who they are, and then maybe you know that okay, this guy can be, or maybe you dated someone that you feel like you're not. If you say it's somewhere, you can't 100% say
Be
that
certain.
the person
Yeah.
is there, but you love them anyway, and you went ahead with it. So if the person is not consistent with maybe they would have text you at a particular time and they didn't, then you begin to think that you feel some type of way just because you accepted that part of that person
Yeah.
as not being entirely faithful. Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
So it's different to someone else who you know this person is good. This person has never given me a reason to doubt or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you don't text you at the point that you feel like they would normally have texted or for a while, you're going to make excuses for them because naturally it comes to you like, oh, this person is a good person. This person has never given me a reason to doubt it.
No, and then
So you see why consistency is important.
it pushes the idea that in those times where there are lapses, you can actually feel it up. Right?
Yes.
This person regularly texts me
Yes.
by 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he hasn't texted by 8 a.m. I feel like there's something wrong.
Yeah.
So I reach out.
Yeah.
Even when I need to text.
Right. Right.
I'll text you.
Text me,
Yeah,
man.
I'll find text. Let me reply.
We're trying to get love,
Yeah,
man.
let me reply. Sometimes, like
So just have some level of consistency that comes with communication, like you said.
yes.
Because there will definitely be times where you cannot do everything that you usually do because you're human.
Yeah.
But like she said, like George said, let it be a character that you've known,
Yeah.
right? Let it be how you've come to see the person, because that's what really drives relationship. Even at marriage, even at old age, just knowing that okay, this is what this person does for me, and that's what I do. These are our roles, and I'm not going to be stranded.
And the love can be so sweet, you forget consistency. What's consistency?
It's part of what drives you.
Because you just be like, at the end of the day, like, you wouldn't even think about it. While the person is being
I don't love
consistent
love. I've
or not.
noticed.
Yeah. Eh?
That's
Who doesn't love love?
love is a beauty. Yeah.
Bro, like,
But I think your thought now pushes the thought I was trying to like construct. Basically all comes down to understanding. You have to then understand the person you are with. Right? When there are times where you feel like this inconsistency is about a seasonal change. Yeah, something triggered it.
yeah.
Right? Rather than go around throwing tantrums.
Yeah.
Right? Why is he not texting me by
Yeah.
8? Ask him. Communication. What exactly is the problem? You usually do this. But I've noticed that in a couple of days you
haven't
change. Is there a problem? Because underlying this list is a human being who wants to, I don't know how to put it, but yeah, a human being with emotions and still going through life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are times where these emotions take a better part.
Yeah.
But you have to be understanding. You have to communicate regularly. You have to know what's going on rather than run into conclusions.
That's really my list,
Okay.
I think the only thing left is clarity. Clarity is very important. I like a man that is very clear. I don't like a man that is, clear. That's my list. How's my list? How did I do?
I feel like our standards, I don't use the word, are interwoven. You see me talk about respect, communication. He talks about being a better person, being a good person, and that is laced with a lot of kindness. And you're saying kindness, respect, and clarity. You see, it's just like standards. They are non-negotiable. But I would like to also say that there are things that people grow in. People grow in them. But understand your values. Do not for a second bite short of it, and at the same time understand that the person can be better.
Absolutely.
I feel like he has said a bit of some stuff about his
Don't go there.
journey.
Don't go there.
No worry. It's an open card. Like, I just want to understand how your journey has gone as regards to your standards.
I feel like I've been learning. Yeah. I've had relationship. Yeah, and it's taught me to be a better person. Yeah, and I feel like there were some things I lacked naturally as a younger person, a younger version of me, that through the process I have gained some level of experience. Yeah, and you can understand better not to do this thing this way. Right? I do also understand that not every human being is wired the same. Yeah, there are people who come with their own peculiarities, but you should understand that there are some baseline things that you shouldn't compromise. Right? There are some things that you should know to do, and some things you should know not to do. Yeah.
So I feel like in this conversation, I've given a list, and it's good for men to have an idea what women are looking for, right? So I think I've done justice to that, right? So what are you guys looking for? What were you looking for that you found?
A good person.
We're looking for a good person. Does a woman help herself, right? Like, yeah, we hear you're looking for a good, but how do because I don't think there's any human being that thinks that they're bad people. So how do you help us? Because we've grown to the stage where we want to know what you guys are looking for. I think I'm navigating towards the standard words now, moving away from the listing.
Yes.
So from my own standards, I'll say that you guys can learn that women are looking for certain things. I think I've taught you guys these things today.
Oh, thank you, Sensei.
Thank you.
So yes. So what are you teaching us so that we can be walking towards certain direction?
So I would say every guy likes to feel cared for, like thought of, like, so it's not the same thing that you want. The guy wants exactly the same. So whatever you can think of that, I want in a guy, try, like, obviously, like, I'm not talking about to be honest, I can't even box it. Like, just think of whatever you want in the guy and try and be that person for the guy. So I'm not gonna pinpoint on anything specifically.
Because people are generally different.
Yeah, everybody
has different love languages.
Thank you. Everyone is open to love. Everyone is open to affection. That's the thing. A lot of people think that guys, they are just meant to be strong and, like, just. They don't have emotions. Trust me, you'll be surprised. Guys have emotions, and that's what they want. Like, they just want you to show the same, the same feeling, same kindness that you're expecting.
Gesture.
Yeah, so you like text. Text me.
I want to talk about.
I want text.
I want to talk about what are you looking for.
No, I feel like he's on track. We're all human. Yeah. The fact that it feels like men were wired to mask emotions. Doesn't mean that they don't experience them. And mind you, I said it feels like, because we were not like born to mask emotions. But yeah, it is necessary sometimes to act like you don't have emotions. But yeah, these people actually have emotions. They want these emotions to be catered for. And it then points towards emotional intelligence. Know what the person wants. The last person you were with could have been okay with just spending time with you. But this person wants gifts. This person wants you to tell them, I love you. And you just want to spend time with them. They begin to feel unwanted at some point. Yeah? So you actually have to know what they want and tailor their needs to them.
Wow. Ladies, can you hear? So men have needs. Yes. They have things that they want. Because I feel it's nice to hear this, because I feel like many times us ladies, I inclusive, I've been that person, right? We tend to forget that it's not just all about us.
Right.
We just want to receive. I've been that person, trust me, I've done it. You know, it's not just all about us, right? Sometimes we just kind of forget about the men and the way they feel.
So quick one, yeah. When it comes to lists, I think I was forgetting a part of this list. Do you have physical lists? A list that comes with appearance. Appearance.
What are you asking now?
Yeah, I'm starting with that. Of course. Let me not throw it in there. So tell me, appearance. He must be tall, fat, handsome. Angelic, muscle, six pack.
Okay, so for me, I am very attracted. I want to look at your face.
Right.
I don't know, it does something for me. So when I look at your face and you're all cute and dapper, it has an effect when life is tough. So I love to be able to write, but I think that there's a deeper connection beyond
Physical appearance.
right? That works for me as well. So whilst I have my spec, I can find my spec in many people, right? And I don't know if I'm saying it right. Yeah, I can find my spec in the right person. That's the word, not in many people. So I love tall guys, like really tall.
Mm-hmm.
And my sisters are married to giants. Like my sisters are not married to tall guys, they're married to those ones that are, you know. So for me, naturally, I just felt, no, I'm just gonna be, it's the blood, you know. But I found myself discover people beyond their appearance, right?
The discovery for me.
Yeah, discover really, because it was a surprise to me. It was a discovery, because for me, if you're not tall, I'm not even going to. I don't even, you know. So it was a discovery, right? Finding that okay, this person is not tall, but the person's character is tall.
Wow.
The person is tall, and it just doesn't matter to me. Just that. So whilst I have those physical things, I think that character still transcends it, and I'm very open to finding someone that has that character.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm being selfish here with my questions. Are you trying to say that if you find a short man with good characters, you would compromise every appearance?
I feel like George is coming for me to
No, I'm not.
Are you afraid that I find a short guy?
No, I'm just saying.
If
Okay. Are you saying that if you find a short guy with the characteristics you want in a guy, you would compromise that physical?
Okay, so I feel like this is a balanced thing, right? I'm not going to find a short guy. I'm not. right?
Speaking
Because attraction is also important to me. Yeah, speaking to the hallelujah. I'm speaking into the atmosphere. So I'm not going to find a short guy, to be honest. But he doesn't have to be tall like my sister's husbands.
Yeah.
Do you
Like a
understand?
compromise.
But as far as I'm not. I don't know that I'm very comfortable with his shots, right? And I trust my father because he knows what I want, right? But I'm ready to say, you know what? If he's not the tall guy, and he has the qualities that I want, yeah, doing that.
I like that. That can work.
yeah.
That can work because so many people have quote and unquote unrealistic lists, especially when it comes to physical appearances. Yeah. And the truth is, the kind of person you are looking for, even with physical appearances, there are people in that cadre that actually have good characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They are tall guys with good characters.
Yeah.
Because
You always find someone,
Yeah.
right? So but you just have to align with what is the template for your life.
Yeah, true.
And what
For me,
God
it's just the fact that I'm not going to now say that if you're not, I want a tall guy, right? And then I meet someone that has all the qualities I have, and it's not scary short. I will now say, oh, you're not that. Do you understand? Because it's not a piece of paper, right? It's not a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
There must be something that shows that this is a human being, not a shirt.
Ayo, what do you think?
So, spec. Until we have a conversation, I cannot fully say
This is
you are
my
my shirt.
Yeah.
So, I've been with different, like tall, short, light skin, dark skin.
But does the appearance pull you to the person?
I was about to say that. Yeah, I was getting something was always attract you
Yeah.
initially. There's always like an initial attraction, whatever that may be. But you can't say, oh, this person. For me, I can't say you're my spec until we've had a conversation. So the spec thing is. So if I was to make a list, the spec thing would be the
Bottom.
bottom of.
So when you take all the standards,
Yeah.
then you now check.
And then the spec can now come to fall like, actually, wow, like this.
Yeah, I got lucky.
Yeah.
I got lucky.
Yeah.
This is really what I
So this
wanted.
is
She has
like attraction. It could be anything, man. Do you understand? Like physically, I mean, but
I feel like
complete
attraction
spectrum. It's like we have to talk. We have to.
Yeah, I feel like attraction is beyond physical. Like character. You can almost see character in a person.
So it's beyond. Okay, so like I think we can break physical down into like maybe body and also like certain things like even like
The voice.
way you talk, voice,
Your manner
your
of
mannerism, like your demeanor, like there's a
work
lot of things
Your
that-
no, that's where I was going.
Yeah, there's so many things that would make for like physical
attraction.
Yeah, true.
yeah,
Your charisma.
charisma. There's a lot, so it takes like at least some form of conversation or interaction, or maybe we've been in the same space for a while and I've seen you in this, and then I can be like, okay, then we can have a conversation if it's going to lead to anything,
You can do it.
anything nice.
Before we go, I have a question for you, right?
Okay.
So when you're saying that men also want these things, men want that, men want this and that, all the things that men want. What do you say to a woman who is willing to give all of those things, but she chooses to hold them back because of fear of rejection? Now, women go through that in a different way, by the way, because they're not in that space where they're the ones doing much of the initiation. They feel like they don't want to put themselves out too much, so they don't come off as needy. So trying to be careful to understand that, okay, this person is, and I need for the person to win me over first, and then when he has shown me that, oh, he's interested, before I do those things, how to do.
Honestly,
How does woman balance?
so I think that's acting, but in another light.
Yeah.
I feel like you're not
You're not being real.
You're not being yourself again. Like you were saying earlier, like trying to get someone to like you and then put up the front, like you try to be like
You're not.
saying is better as someone like. I feel like it's the same thing in another light. when, because you feel like you don't want to be rejected, and you're holding back on certain things. I feel like I might be wrong, but I feel like you need to just be yourself. Like it might be tough, but I feel like if you're
breaking your heart over and over again.
yeah, but that's what we're saying about you cannot make every situation, like you can't bring your bad experiences into everything new, because it's like you're bringing something toxic into something new already, and the chances are to get toxic. You might tone it down, you might not do as much, but just if it comes to you, like just self-governance, like know when to but don't show yourself out from being who you are just because you don't want to look weak. Just be yourself like that. That's yeah.
So I want to draw a parallel, not really similar, but something you could liken to it. To get a job, you say, okay, I've been rejected a lot by other company, other firms. Yeah. Do I now take out my qualifications so they can employ me before I tell them what I can do? You logically have to throw your qualifications out there and your capacity before they even start considering the possibilities of hiring you. The fact that you've lost 10 jobs because you're a very good
qualified.
Yes, data analyst.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you have to throw that out. What if that is what the next job is actually looking for?
That's very something. Ladies, you have it. Make sure that you do whatever it is that you are, so you don't act. Be yourself.
Okay, so for you, top of your list.
I think talk about this. I think
kindness.
there's one thing that has gone wrong, which is kindness.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned something.
Yeah.
I think that's
Kindness.
and then
Respect.
both.
And I think
both
those
ways.
ways,
Yeah.
Respect,
The communication.
communication. And I think there's something else, family values.
Yeah.
I like someone who is family oriented.
Yes.
I like someone who is family oriented.
Yeah. I feel like you shouldn't be doing marriage if you're not family oriented.
Right.
It's going to be really tough.
Because you're actually going to be bringing two families together.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes a larger system. You have to actually be family oriented to handle that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If not, there's a possibility of them tearing one apart.
You have to look at it from another angle where you don't know the family history of the person.
Yeah.
Or like they might have a tough one. So they might not entirely, not that they're not family oriented, but there's certain things that you consider as very important when it comes to family. Like they don't even know.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
open-minded.
They've not experienced it.
Yes. So I think as good as
That's where understanding comes in.
Yeah, as important as
open-minded.
Yeah, you have
Open-minded.
to be ready to
learn
you
and
can't be like obviously that's why we're just saying it's not like the top on the list, but it's something that's very important.
Yeah.
And then being family oriented doesn't mean that you have to have the same dispositions family wise.
Yeah.
It just means that you're the family minded person,
Yeah.
that you love family. And some people are family oriented with their friends. I'm family oriented with friends.
True.
I feel like friends like
I have
family.
friends that
Yeah, they can
are
help.
really like family.
Yeah. So I'm very family oriented. So my disposition, even to my friends, is like family.
Yeah.
Even to strangers sometimes, because I'm just a family oriented person. So it doesn't mean that we have to have the same approach, but there's something that you must be doing if you want to have a relationship that shows that you are committed to the value of the concept of family. Intentionality is very important, especially to women.
No, it's
Because a woman
important,
has to
but,
know
you have to have
what you're
chance for
doing.
vibes as well. Like I mean, it shouldn't always be like I'm like
yes,
meant
consent,
to do something.
consent.
So
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I like vibes. Like,
The fact that I've been in relationships that I wasn't even aware of. And that's just because people are not intentional. Because if you're intentional, I will know that we're dating. Right? So, yeah, it still boils down to respect. Because when you respect someone, you'll be very clear and intentional. And then some people, it's not disrespect per se, they're just not very intentional in their relationship journey. They just do it as it goes.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like that
Yeah.
that doesn't really.
no, it doesn't cut it. Like,
Yeah.
And I feel like for you, what you said honoring the fact that you love surprises is actually being intentional. I'm intentional about surprising this woman. So when she wakes up in the morning, she's surprised. She goes to work and I surprise her at different times.
Yeah.
That's being intentional. So intentionality.
Like doing what the person likes, and then you're going out of your way to
So
actually
do
because
it.
you know they like
Yeah.
it. Because I go to the grocery and like just because they like a particular chocolate bar,
You pick it.
You pick
Pick it
it
up,
Even
yeah.
do you understand? Okay, so that's the truth.
Okay, yeah. So that's the list. That's the list.
Kindness, consistency. Now, not in any other.
Yeah.
Respect.
Respect.
Communication.
Communication. Intentionality.
Self-governance.
Self-governance.
Understanding. Intentionality. Thinking sometimes.
I like that.
Okay, guys, thank you. I hope you had a good time watching our gist session today. See you in the next gist session. Thank you, Ayo. Thank you, George. Thank you for being here. I had a good time.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, guys.